Hello and welcome to a Control-C setup video. This particular video is set for setting up a computer. Depends on what class you're in, but often depends on your instructor. Talk to your instructor. You'll have to set up your own particular user, log in with your name and password using your Huston credentials. This is what the screen looks like. Actually, look up there. Because this room has two screens, it starts off with the image split between the two screens. One of the first things I'm going to do is consolidate it so both screens are the same image, and then you can look down here. So I will actually start with that. But what I was saying in the video is it really depends on which class you're in. Usually in hybrid mixed techniques, students have their own users on the screen. The immersive class, it's usually a shared user. So we're going to set this up from the beginning, and that's what this video is all about. The first thing I'm going to do is make the screens mirrored so I can see the same thing on both images, and perhaps you want it differently, but I'm going to go up to the Apple. I'm going to go to System Settings, and I don't really care about this paper cut thing. This is just keeping track of your printing, so I'm going to cancel that. And I'm going to search for displays. It actually pops up as a suggestion because that's the most common thing. And the thing I want to do is mirror them. They've changed this in recent years. If you hit the Arrange button, it will tell you what to do to mirror displays. Hold down Option while dragging them on top of each other. So I'm holding Option down on the computer keyboard and dragging one on top of the other. Now they're the same, so you can use either screen. So that's the first thing I do. So that's done. You can change the font size however you want here. I've got bad eyes, so I might make it a little bit bigger. I don't know if it matters for this video. I'm going to just go back to default for the sake of this video. So that's the first step. Second step is you've got this terrible dock here filled with apps that you never need. You're going to be working all semester with this user. I would start deleting just by dragging to the trash can anything and everything that you don't need for your audio experience here in Control-C. Only takes a minute. Of course, I've got to talk here and sing the Jeopardy theme while I'm doing it on video, but I think it's usually worth it. I'm leaving the system settings up. I certainly don't need address books and video and all that. You may want to leave a web browser here. I usually drop Chrome in because I can use Chrome, but I'm going to leave everything but Safari here. So that's all done, deleted. That's kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Next step, I'm going to add some apps to this dock that we're going to use. I'm going to close all this stuff up here. It's always popping up with notifications. I don't really need any of this stuff, so I'm just going to close it all. There's a couple apps we definitely need to add. I'm going to open up the Macintosh hard drive and go to the Applications folder. I prefer to view as a list. You can do whatever you want, but I'm going to view it as a list here. There's a couple apps we need that you're definitely going to use. Of course, Pro Tools. Type P goes to Pro Tools. That's fine, Pro Tools. Ethan, do you think we need to make a bigger screen there, or does the iPhone capturing this clearly? Should I make it bigger?
You should make it bigger.
Okay, so I'll go back up here, System Preferences, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger for now.
Yeah.
I actually like it somewhere in between. I'm going to hold an Option down and click on that button, and it gives me a set of ones, so I can go to one kind of in the middle between.
That's good.
That's what I do. So let's grab Pro Tools and move that down to the dock here, because that's probably the most important app we have. A couple you may not know about. You really need hit W and go to WS Control app. That has to be, well, it doesn't have to be, but I'm holding Option down, which was dumb. Stop. Don't hold Option down. Do it again. Hold WS Control app. Really useful to have that there. And our friend Dadman, which if you've never used before, you're going to just love a lot. We're going to grab Dadman and put this down here as well. A few more that are really only used for immersive, for Atmos mixing. So if you're in the immersive class, you're definitely going to want to have. Go to D for Dolby. Go into the Dolby folder. And a couple different things. The Dolby Atmos Renderer should go down here. The Dolby Atmos Album Assembler. This is kind of cool. Lets you master Atmos albums. And another one, I'm going to go back out of that folder, Dolby, go up to the root level here of applications, something called Binaural Render for Apple Music. That's a really important one. That one, if you're in the immersive class, you will be opening regularly. And the next thing is, I'm going to close this applications folder. I'm going to make this dock not take up half the Pro Tools real estate. So back to Controls. You can search for the correct thing, like there it is, desktop and dock. That's where we want to go. Or you can always type in dock and have it pop up. Things I want to do, I want to make it smaller but I want it to magnify when I go over it, so then I can see the apps. Personally, I usually leave it at the bottom. I do like it to hide and go away, and so I don't have to see it. So I click hide and not show the dock, and it just shows up when I go to it. But in Pro Tools, I'm always accidentally opening it up down here. So on my Pro Tools computer, I will put the dock on the left side of the screen. So somewhere around here, there's a place that lets me put, did I miss it? Where is it? Where is it? I haven't done this in oh, there it is. Position on screen, left side. So now the dock is over here. So that's a personal thing. And I do recommend you do it too, but it's your choice. Now sound, you're gonna be listening to videos. In fact, you may be listening to this video on your phone right now. I lied, we are gonna look at this little thing over here. In order to hear some videos on the Mac, you're going to probably use this central station. This central station drives the big Genelecs and the Yamaha NS10s and the little Auratone over there. If you put it on speaker set A, it will drive the big Genelecs, turn the volume up, and click this button here where it's Mac, and you should be able to hear videos coming from YouTube. In order to do that, now we'll go back to the screen, we need to set up sound over here to work appropriately. So again, I'm going to open up System Settings, and we're going to go to Sound, and I could look for it, or I could just type in Sound, and go to Sound. A few things you're going to want. You want sound to go out the correct output. It really needs to be external headphones, and it does default to that, so that's good. I actually don't like all the clicks and beeps and blops of when I click on the screen, so I turn off user sound effects. Here's a really important one. This button here gets accidentally muted. I believe it's your fingers that actually, I don't know how it gets happened, but this mute gets muted and you can never hear the audio coming out of the computer. And here's the crazy part, it hides off the screen. So if you ever have any problem where you can't hear sound, it might be that. It burned me the other day. It took me a half hour to figure it out. I'm embarrassed. But the important thing here is external output and that mute. Watch out for that. Okay, keyboard shortcuts. This is the next thing. A few different keyboard commands we need to turn off. Mission Control, turn off Mission Control, and turn off applications windows. These two need to go off because that'll let you use the arrow keys to scroll up and down on Pro Tools tracks. And at least I find that incredibly useful. Go to Spotlight, turn both of these off because these are macros for record on Pro Tools that I use. Maybe I'm just old, but they're really, really useful. And then the last one is under Keyboard. Where be it? There. Nope. Function keys. Turn these off, and then you can use the function keys in Pro Tools to go to all your modes. So those things really need to be set correctly, and hit done. And check my script here. That is actually it for this video. And we're good. So see you in the next video.